Welcome back to Myrna and Jenn. We read that Apocrypha. We're excited to have everyone with us this week. And as you know, if you've been following along, and if not, I'm going to let you have the info. We are in Jubilee right now, and we've been talking a lot about this man, Jacob, who is
Hmm.
the famous Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's the grandson of Abraham. And he has married Leah and Rachel and gone through all of that. And he's now kind of gone off and had problems with his brother, but he's fixed it up and they're now besties again. Though he did, I guess, kind of bribe him to be besties again, but I'm just gonna look at Jacob with no judgment. Um
Well, and we learned last week, I
uh,
believe it was last week, that this is the Jacob that's the father of Joseph that
yes.
was sold into Egypt, which
Yeah.
I never made that
Yeah.
connection before. So that was
I'm
good to
gonna
learn.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of forgot what their dad's name was.
I did too.
I didn't even know, truthfully, I didn't even know he had a name. I thought it was just Joseph and the 12 tribes of Israel, like that came from it. I don't know why I did not think, who is their father? What has he done? He has created all these, somewhere it was in me, but it went poof.
Well,
And now I have it back.
I'm sure it's the amazing singing and dancing of Joseph, of
Yes.
Donny Osmond that made us forget
Yes.
about what the dad's
It
name is.
total,
I'm
yeah,
sure that's what it was.
that's
Anyway.
exactly what it was. You called it, hit the nail on the head right there.
You
So,
go, Johnny.
go, Donnie. So, as we go to read here today, we're going to be in Jubilee chapter 31, and we're going to be talking about what has happened now that Jacob has been asked to go to Bethel to do some sacrifices. So he's taken his wives with him, and we're going to find out what happens on that part of his journey
Yep.
because
Let's do it.
recently his two sons went out and killed an entire city of people because of a problem that his sister Dinah, that his daughter Dinah was kidnapped and
Mhm.
abused. And the boys got her back, but they killed like a whole city to do it. And Myrna and I don't know, Myrna, after a whole week, are you still feeling like, I'm not sure about that one?
Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
still a little confused, to be quite honest,
Yeah, I agree.
because Levi was one of them, and then he was given the leadership of the priesthood. I
I know, right?
Who was the
So
other? The other one was the
was
oldest, which was
was it Reuben?
Zebulon? No,
Mm,
Reuben. You're right. It's
it was
Reuben.
Reuben, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
So go fig. I
I don't
still
know.
don't know what to make, but I will keep going. I will keep reading. And I have been finding it interesting as we've been talking to look up what's happening in Genesis and instead of just the Apocrypha. So sometimes we'll throw in some of that too to see uh, if there's details that are being missed in one of them.
Yeah.
Um, and so I say, let's just saddle up here and let's get back into
Let's do it.
Jubilees. Chapter 32,
One.
verse 1. This is them going off to do sacrifices.
It's 31, right?
31. Sorry, you're correct. It's chapter 31. Here we go. Uh, and on the new moon of the month, Jacob spake to all the people of his house, saying, Purify yourselves and change your garments, and let us arise and go up to Bethel, where I vowed a vow to him on the day when I fled from the face of Esau my brother, because he has been with me and brought me into this land in peace, and put ye away the strange gods that are among you. And they gave up the strange gods and that which was in their ears and which was on their necks, and the idols which Rachel stole. Sorry, the idols which Rachel stole from Laban her father, she gave wholly to Jacob. And he burnt and brake them to pieces and destroyed them and hid them under an oak which is in the land of Shechem. And he went up on the new moon of the 7th month to Bethel, and he built an altar at the place where he had slept. And he set up a pillar there, And he sent word to his father Isaac to come to him to his sacrifice and to his mother Rebekah. All right. So you're telling me that Rachel has been stole some idols from her father before they left and has currently been, I don't know, worshiping them?
Well, yeah, it sounds like
Sounds about right.
Laban wasn't living the way that Abraham's
Uh-huh.
family was living,
Correct.
correct? Which is what Rebecca is his sister.
Mhm.
Jacob's mom is Laban's sister
Yep.
and married Rachel, his daughter. But
Mhm.
evidently, that family was doing the idol worshiping.
Worshiping that everyone else seems to be doing.
Yeah, and and I guess we learn here that Jacob is
Mhm.
still following what he learned growing up
Yep.
in his house with Abraham,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
It's like, "Oh, honey, look, I have these idols," and he gives them to Jacob, and he's like, "Oh," burns them and breaks them up, and like, okay, that's what you do when your spouse gives you a gift, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, but it's not. I know, and the thing is it's idols. It's stuff in their ears, which maybe I earrings with idols and stuff, or around their
yeah,
necks. Like they were jeweled out, man. They were blinged. There was some bling bling here of idols, and now Jacob's like, yeah, we gotta get rid of that.
it reminds me of the cross, right? People have
Yeah,
earrings of the cross, they have necklaces
right.
with the cross
Hmm.
on. It's like worshiping that cross rather than worshiping the atonement, the Christ that caused the atonement,
Right.
right? We're worshiping these things. Um, so that's interesting. I think this is the first time we've heard um, that that was the way Rachel was raised.
Yes, it is the first that we've heard. And remember, Rachel is his favorite wife.
Yeah,
Rachel's the one he served 14 years to be able to marry.
yeah,
So, I find that so interesting. And at the same time here, he is doing what he had promised he was going to do.
yeah,
And at the same time, I'm like, mm, the other thing here is in the land of Shechem, that was the land that his Jacob's two sons went out and just destroyed all the
yeah.
men. In the
Uh-huh.
Genesis account, remember, the women and children came into Jacob's household.
Right, right.
So we know that they were worshiping idols and stuff. So it's kind of like all these people, guys, the idol worshiping has to stop. All of it's got to go. So it's going to be, I mean, for Rachel, she's have been married to her husband for a while, but for all of these new incoming women and children, it's going to be a big change. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I can see why Jacob's group is a peculiar people
Mhm,
because they were
mhm.
doing customs and traditions that no one else was doing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And a bunch
Yeah,
of boys were probably getting circumcised. So, wow. Just going to say that is its own like thing too because in his household he was told that everyone had to be circumcised 8 days or older.
correct. Yeah,
So, that's a lot to have happen in a short amount of time. So, but I do like that he sent word for his father and mother to come to the sacrifice.
yeah,
A
yeah,
little family reunion at the temple.
yeah, it's a sacrifice for his parents to come though because
Yes.
it's a distance, right?
Yes. Mhm. Yes.
So, okay. 4. And Isaac said, "Let my son Jacob come and let me see him before I die." And Jacob went to his father Isaac and to his mother Rebekah to the house of his father Abraham. And he took 2 of his sons with him, Levi and Judah. And he came to his father Isaac and to his mother Rebekah. And Rebekah came forth from the tower to the front of it to kiss Jacob and embrace him. for her spirit had revived when she heard, "Behold, Jacob thy son has come." And she kissed him.
Aw, that's a tender moment.
So he must have sent word, and then whoever went there came
Mhm.
back and told him that his dad wanted to see him.
Or they have a staff of people still. They still have maybe handmaids and stuff to help them that Jacob is obviously paying for. Could be that.
Right. Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
in the
Someone's there.
family was sent.
Mhm. So
So,
he's been a good son. I mean, he travels there, we heard, like 4 times a year, he goes to see his parents, so
right, right, right. Yeah.
Isaac, I don't know how old he is at this point, but he's gotta be pretty old.
Mhm. Well, how old was Abraham?
Abraham was really old. So Jacob was 130 years old when he entered Egypt, and Isaac was 60 years old when Jacob was born. So they're
Um,
60 years apart.
he died at 180.
Okay, so they're 60 years apart, so 180, his son would be 120,
Mhm.
once he died, so that's a good amount of time.
It says that Isaac was 151 when his
Oh,
dad died.
okay, when Abraham died.
No, when Isaac died. Oh, no, Isaac was 150 when Abraham died. Yeah.
Mhm. So,
Okay. All right.
60 years apart here. That's a bit of time,
Yeah.
but that's a sweet little moment.
Yeah. There we go.
6, so 7.
Yes.
7. And she saw his 2 sons, and she recognized them, and said unto him, Are these thy sons, my son? And she embraced them and kissed them, and blessed them, saying, In you shall the seed of Abraham become illustrious, and ye shall prove a blessing on the earth. And Jacob went in to Isaac his father, to the chamber where he lay, and his 2 sons were with him. And he took the hand of his father, and stooping down, he kissed him. And Isaac clung to the neck of Jacob his son, and wept upon his neck. And the darkness left the eyes of Isaac. And he saw the 2 sons of Jacob, Levi and Judah. And he said, Are these thy sons, my son? For they are like thee. Because remember, he was going blind.
Yeah.
So he got to have a moment here where his vision was cleared.
Yeah.
Blind, cataracts, something was happening.
Yeah. And he got to see his
His
grandson.
grandsons. That was nice. This is a tender scene.
It's a very tender scene. I was just going to say that. Um, and he said unto him that they were truly his sons, and thou hast truly seen that they are truly my sons. And they came near to him, and he turned and kissed them and embraced them both together. And the spirit of prophecy came down into his mouth, and he took Levi by his right hand and Judah by his left. I think something special's coming out of his mouth.
Yep, I believe you are correct.
So your turn. Go.
Okay. 13. And he turned to Levi first and began to bless him first and said unto him, may the God of all, the very Lord of all the ages, bless thee and thy children throughout all the ages. And may the Lord give to thee and to thy seed greatness and great glory, and cause thee and thy seed from among all flesh to approach him to serve in his sanctuary as the angels of the presence and as the holy ones, even as they shall the seed of thy sons be for glory and greatness and holiness, and may he make them great unto all the ages. And they shall be judges and princes and chiefs of all the seed of the sons of Jacob. So he's doing some blessings
Mm-hmm.
and to serve in his sanctuary. So this seems like where Levi gets the blessing that he will serve in the sanctuaries.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing I find here is that this really feels like that promise that, Elijah, the sealing power of what happens on earth like stays. Like he's putting words out there, and it seems that when he does this, you can't there's no backseas. There's no that might happen. It's this is like the word.
Mhm.
This is his blessing. This will not be taken from him.
Right.
But I do not see any consequences if you do not do your part. Does that make sense? I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of that. There's
Yeah.
just, here's the blessings and this is what's going to happen. God will have it happen because I've said it, which there's power in that. So you got to be careful of your words. But
Mhm.
I don't know. It's just an interesting place. I don't know. Thinking of it like a patriarchal blessing. I don't know. But he's blessing them in specific ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, you didn't finish 15.
Oh, I didn't? Oh,
Mm-mm.
oh, you're right. I'm not used to the way it's formatted here.
Yeah.
Sorry. I will start again with 15. And they shall be judges and princes and chiefs of all the seed of the sons of Jacob. They shall speak the word of the Lord in righteousness, and they shall judge all his judgments in righteousness. And they shall declare my ways to Jacob and my paths to Israel. The blessing of the Lord shall be given in their mouths to bless all the seed of the beloved. All right, that's a lot for Levi.
Yeah. Well, remember, um, he was given uh he was chosen as the um what's the word? The carrier of the
Hmm.
priesthood
Hmm.
in the previous chapter.
Yes. Hmm.
And so of course this would be naturally be a responsibility that would come to them
Hmm.
because he's talking about them serving in the sanctuaries, right?
Hmm.
And being the judges and the
Yes.
the the princes and providing those sacrifices in the sanctuary.
Hmm.
So that would make sense.
It does make sense.
Okay, 16. Thy mother has called thy name Levi, and justly has she called thy name. Thou shalt be joined to the Lord, and be the companion of all the sons of Jacob. Let his table be thine, and do thou and thy sons eat thereof. And may thy table be full unto all generations, and thy food fail not unto all the ages. And let ate all who hate thee fall down before thee, and let all thy adversaries be rooted out and perish. And blessed be he that blesses thee, and cursed be every nation that curses thee. And to Judah he said, may the Lord give thee strength and power to tread down all that hate thee. A prince shalt thou be, and thou and one of thy sons over the sons of Jacob. May the name, may thy name and the name of thy sons go forth and traverse every land and region. Then shall the Gentiles fear before thy face, and all the nations shall quake, and all the peoples shall quake. Well, they do call Christ the Lion of Judah.
Yes, they do.
And so Judah is that strength and that power that comes from the Lord.
Mhm. Because he is behind his people.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very different blessings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very different blessings. It's so interesting being able to read these because you look to our modern time and you look at the Jewish people and Israel and all of those bits and pieces and how hated the Jews have been throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so when he I mean that because we have the ability to look at all of that, when it says here that and to Judah may the Lord give thee strength and power to tread down all that hate thee. That's that's an impressive blessing when you see how much they have been hated and the Holocaust and all of that. Like they still are around. They still have their God.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that Levi was told that those that hate you will die.
Yeah.
And Judah was told you'll give the power to overcome those that hate you.
Mhm.
So the Judean uh, people are a little more, have to protect themselves a little bit more than the Levites.
Right.
The
Right.
Levites have that protection already, and the Judeans have to um, provide that for themselves in a way, but they're given the power to be able to do it.
Right.
I think that's interesting. But I
Mm.
also think that it's interesting that the Levites, right,
Mhm.
um, which is uh, the ones who have continued the Jewish faith,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
Um, that is one of the only faiths that really has lived through time
Yes.
and hasn't changed too much.
Right.
I mean, it's had to change because the world has changed a little bit,
Right.
but they still do a lot of the things that you see here in the scriptures. A lot
Yes.
of the festivals they still do. That a lot of the
Yep.
stuff that they still do. Um, and so I think it's interesting that they have survived,
Yes.
and I think part of it comes from this blessing that they were given.
At, at this actual moment in the
Mhm.
scriptures.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard sometimes for people to believe that that could be true, that a father giving his child a blessing, saying these things, that it would have that staying power of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, like years.
Mhm.
And yet that is what we say.
Well, I think it also comes from, if you know any Jewish people,
Mhm.
um, there is a firm belief, a firm uh, oh, it is powerful when they talk about their heritage,
Yes, it is.
right? They really have a testimony that this is true,
Yes.
right? And I think that is how come this testimony, this blessing became fulfilled. It's
Right.
because the people believe it.
Mhm.
And it had the faith that this was true, and they
Yes.
made it come to fruition.
Right.
That's what a blessing is. If you become faithful to the blessing, it comes to fruition.
Okay. Verse
19.
19. In thee shall be the help of Jacob, and in thee be found the salvation of Israel. And when thou sittest on the throne of honor of thy righteousness, there shall be great peace for all the seed of the sons of the beloved. Blessed be he that blesseth thee, and all that hate thee and afflict thee and curse thee shall be rooted out and destroyed from the earth and be accursed. And turning, he kissed him again and embraced him and rejoiced greatly, for he had seen the sons of Jacob, his son, in very truth. I like that phrase, in very truth.
In very truth, yeah.
I mean, look at all the
That's
things with
that's so
that
cool.
Jacob had seen in his life. He knew the story that his mom was unable to have children, and
Mm,
yet she bare him in old age when she shouldn't have been able to.
mhm.
Uh, he has seen God work in many ways um, uh, with his brother in that relationship, and with
Yeah.
um, where he's supposed to be and go and travel, and that he would have children that would dot the earth. And all of these things, and being able to sit here and watch his sons have a blessing from his father, from their grandfather, um, must have reminded him of the blessing he
Right. And remind him of the blessing that his grandfather, Abraham, received.
received. Yes.
Right. I think it's interesting that you have two men in a row who had wives that had a hard time having children,
Yes, it's true.
and they were still blessed to have children.
Yep.
And it came to fruition. And now you have a son
Mhm.
who is very fruitful in having
And children.
children.
Mhm.
The blessing is beginning to see its fruition through
That's
Jacob.
true. I hadn't quite thought about that, but you are true. It seemed at the time almost an impossibility maybe.
Mhm.
And maybe that's why they gave their handmaids to him, because they were um Sarah gave hers to Abraham, and Rebecca gave hers to Isaac. Maybe that was in part because they had the faith to have it fulfilled, and if the child wasn't coming from them, the children were going to happen because they were going to dot um, like the sands of the sea.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I never thought about that, Myrna. Way to go! You made a connection there for me today.
Well, good, good. Yeah, I just think that I think it was a blessing for
Hmm.
Isaac to begin to see
Right.
that blessing of being able to dot the earth, or having your children the number of the sands of the sea. He
Yeah.
began to see it in Jacob.
Yes, he was seeing the fruition, the blessing starting to expand
Yeah, and so I think that might be one of the reasons he is so joyful at this time.
in this moment.
Mhm.
Mm, that's beautiful.
All right, 22. And he went forth from between his feet and fell down and bowed down to him. And he blessed them and rested there with Isaac his father that night. And they eat and drank with joy. And he made the two sons of Jacob sleep, the other one on his right hand and the other on his left. And it was counted to him for righteousness. And Jacob told his father everything during the night, how the Lord had shown him great mercy, and how he had prospered him in all his ways and protected him from all evil.
This harkens back to when Jacob to Isaac, and when Abraham was getting close to
Yeah,
death, Isaac was there with his father in the bed and laying on him, in fact, when he passed away.
yeah. Hmm.
So, Jacob is getting to have that moment with his own father, Isaac.
Hmm.
A very tender male moment again,
Oh, yeah.
and
But
I
I
want my
think that,
grandsons in here with me.
yeah, I think that they're well aware
Mhm.
that he's not far for this earth.
Yes,
And let's spend as much time as
as we
possible.
can. And I love that Jacob, I just picture them like it's late into the evening, but Isaac wants to hear all about what Jacob has to say about him and the Lord, and it's like
Yeah.
Jacob saying, "It's okay, Dad. Like I have the Lord, and He is with me, and all these great things are happening. Let's count it joy for when He leaves this world."
Right. Yeah. It's
The
beautiful.
proof of it all. Hmm.
Hmm.
And Isaac blessed the God of his father Abraham, who had not withdrawn his mercy and his righteousness from the sons of his servant Isaac. And in the morning, Jacob told his father Isaac the vow which he had vowed to the Lord, and the vision which he had seen, and that he had built an altar, and that everything was ready for the sacrifice to be made before the Lord as he had vowed, and that he had come to set him on an ass. And Isaac said unto Jacob his son, I am not able to go with thee, for I am old and not able to bear the way. Go, my son, in peace. For I am 165 years this day. I am no longer able to journey. Set thy mother on an ass and let her go with thee. So he prepped as best he could to say, I really would like you there. And
Mm-hmm.
he's just, son, I appreciate that. But I am not able.
Not able.
I have a mom right now who's 90 years old. And I can tell you that lady does something like that lady moves with a walker. Like, get out of her way. But
Mm-hmm.
she can get in and out of a car, get to a car, she can go out to lunch with someone, but she cannot go a long distance anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
If you like going to someone's house that is 40 minutes away, that is like that's kind of the tops of it.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, and riding an ass is not
that is not comfortable.
comfortable,
No, that's not gonna be
right?
comfortable.
And once you get older, things hurt.
And he's 165, so it
Yeah,
really hurts.
things hurt. I'll tell you. Um, but I love that Jacob still asks.
Yep, he desires. Mhm.
Mhm. 28. And I know, my son, that thou hast come on my account. And may this day be blessed on which thou hast seen me alive, and I also have seen thee, my son. Mayest thou prosper and fulfill the vow which thou hast vowed, and put not off thy vow, for thou shalt be called to account as touching the vow. Now therefore make haste to perform it, and may he be pleased who has made all things, to whom thou hast vowed the vow. And he said to Rebekah, go with Jacob thy son. And Rebekah went with Jacob her son, and Deborah with her, and they came to Bethel.
So, sorry, son, I won't be able to make it, but take your mother and please, Rebecca, go with your son.
Mm,
So I
that's
do
hard.
I know, right?
It's a hard
Um,
moment.
it is a hard moment, and yet Jacob, and yet Isaac here is saying, you have vowed a vow, do not put that off
Hmm.
because you will be accountable for it.
Yeah.
Which I think that language a little bit is, you made a vow with God and you better keep that vow because you've made it with God. Um,
Yeah. Well, even back then, when you make a vow to somebody
mhm,
else, it
it
meant
was
something.
it meant
Your
something.
word meant something back then,
Yep,
not like now.
right.
Back then, it meant something.
Mhm,
And Isaac wants Jacob to continue to be
mhm.
that person that people can trust when he
Yes,
vows or promises them something.
correct, correct. I just like that language. We don't it's just not ingrained in our society, at least in the United States culture,
Right.
like it once was.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, let's finish it up for us, my friend.
okay. Um, 31.
Yep.
And Jacob remembered the prayer with which his father had blessed him and his two sons, Levi and Judah. And he rejoiced and blessed the God of his fathers, Abraham and Isaac. And he said, now I know that I have an eternal hope, and my sons also, before the God of all. And thus is it ordained concerning the two. And they record it as an eternal testimony unto them on the heavenly tablets how Isaac blessed them. Those heavenly tablets again.
Yeah, they're getting pretty thick.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're getting pretty
A little
thick.
heavy to carry around.
Mhm.
Um, but I love that here's a group of people that are teaching us to be valiant in our covenants. I mean, this is a vow, but I would call it in the realms of a covenant that he made with God that he would do something. They're teaching us how to be true to our covenants that we made with God.
Mhm.
Um, and I think they're a great example on us trying to change our culture here in, at least in the United States, to make it so that when someone says they'll do something, again, we can be in that space where we'll believe that it will happen, right? We can trust
Mhm.
that it's going to
Right.
happen,
Mhm.
because that was a big thing
Yes.
for them. That's we talk about it like in the Book of Mormon when Zoram,
Mhm.
um, all he had to do was vow to
Mhm.
uh,
To Nephi and his brothers.
Nephi and his brothers that he would not run away and tell people where he was, and
Yeah.
that was because your word was your bond back then.
Yes.
Um, and so I think that we can learn from the people back then that that's important.
100% because in that Book of Mormon story, Zoram ends up in another country, another land, another far across the seas. He's with them for the rest of his life. Who knows
Mhm.
what he had going on in the town?
Yeah.
He just up and disappeared.
Mhm.
It never says if I mean, he had to have a mother and a father. He had to have
You
had
would think
maybe
so.
siblings, and he just made a promise to strangers and up and went.
Mhm.
That is amazing that all it took was him saying, "I vow this vow."
Mhm.
Um, I will tell you, as we've been going along, I've been looking in Genesis,
Mhm.
to see like what does this look like? What we just read.
Mhm.
That story is not in Genesis. What it
Oh, okay.
does say is it says that there were more children born to people. So Benjamin was born, and it kind of goes through the wives and who had what child. And
Okay.
then all it says is that Jacob came unto, and this is in Genesis chapter 35. Jacob came unto Isaac his father, unto Mamre, unto the city of Arba, which is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned. And the days of Isaac were 180 years. And Isaac gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people, being old and full of days. And his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. I find that fascinating.
Yeah. That this was not even in there.
Yeah, that is not part of um canon,
Huh. It's interesting.
because that to me is a very beautiful father son moment, or father son and sons, right?
Mhm.
So I went to look
Yeah.
in further in, and it's going to be talking about the next chapter in Genesis 36 talks all about Esau and his family and his children's children kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
to give a genealogy of Esau. So that's what happens in Genesis, where here it goes, and we're going to be reading about Levi's dream at Bethel. So we're still in Bethel in this one.
Yeah. Mhm.
So which I just find fascinating, because that was
Mhm.
one of the most tender stories I've read.
Yeah, that was good. I like
Um
it.
so I just, it is still just fascinating me, Myrna, that um what we're finding is in the Apocrypha, aligning that with with the Genesis story, and all it is, yep, he died.
Yeah.
Where here we get this changing of a generation to another generation,
Right.
of that respect, of that vow, of the blessings that happen father to son. And I think that, and the love that they had for one another,
Yeah.
is just beautiful.
Yeah,
Maybe
when
it
it
would help, maybe it would help men to see that tenderness, to see that
yeah.
love, to see that longing to be lying next to your father.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I I I know that, you know, I'm 100% sure that happens at times in the hospital before people pass away.
Mhm.
I know I crawled in bed with
Mhm.
grandma.
Mhm.
So, and I've heard a
Mhm.
lot of people who have done that.
Mhm.
Um, it's a tender moment, and I think
Mhm.
it's that moment where the veil is
Then
the thinnest outside the temple.
mhm. I agree. Because that transition is about to happen.
Yeah. And I think I've been in when one of my sisters had her child, I was in the room and the veil is very thin then too.
Mm.
I could feel it. It was like it was quite a beautiful
Mm.
experience to not be the one screaming. Um and experience
Life coming
that
taking
life
its first
coming
breath,
through that veil. Yeah. Mhm.
taking its first breath in this world.
Yeah. It feels a lot like when you're in the same room when someone passes away.
Yes.
There's a
Oh,
feeling there's a feeling of the veil. At least that's what I've felt, is there is a
mhm.
feeling of that veil right there.
Yeah, I felt that too when I was in the room when my dad passed away,
Mhm,
and I forever will have that marked on me, the feeling in that room.
mhm,
The
yeah,
feeling of the increase of the spirit and feeling the thinness and knowing that there were people from the other side who were so close, I could probably touch them.
yeah, mhm, absolutely.
So for him to be able to have this moment and I'm just a tad curious here. So we're going to get Levi's dream and then a lot of other bits and pieces. And wow, and then it's in a couple of chapters that we will then have the story of Joseph being sold into Egypt. We're not
Mhm,
that far off.
not far off.
Nope, we have
We
18
we
chapters soon.
we will not be singing at that time, just letting everybody know.
No, we won't.
I can't do it as well. I can do it better than Joseph, so, but I don't wanna than Donny Osmond, so I don't wanna, overpower him, so I will
We'll
not be
let him
singing.
have that. We'll let him have
We'll
it.
let him have that joy, so
Yes.
anyway,
Okay.
yeah, 'kay.
Wow. So this one was interesting. I did not, I mean, we had this whole kill everyone scene last
I know,
time.
that was, like,
And
dramatic.
then bam, now it's this tender, loving father-son moment. Like they're just like flipping our emotions.
Absolutely.
Something about that story like put me into that actual space with him.
Yeah, the
As
wording was really good.
yeah, it really was, man. I feel now like if we hadn't have done this project of going through the Apocrypha, I would have missed that story. I would have
Yeah,
missed that tender moment. Um,
mhm,
I would have missed that. And it feels like the passing of a generation
yeah,
and a moment right before that happens.
yeah. Well, seeing these intimate moments,
Yeah.
uh, is making me see these men differently,
Agreed. Agreed. It is.
so,
Hmm. All
mm,
right. Whew. If
woo,
anyone has been in those situations where a parent or a loved one, you've been there at their passing or near that, then this podcast today might have like hit you in all these warm, fuzzy places because it did for me. We thank
yeah,
you so much for being a part of it with us this week. And we hope that you have gotten something out of this conversation and maybe thought about these men differently, like we have.
yeah,
And man, please, if you enjoy, like, subscribe, comment below. We'd love to have interactions with anyone who would love to have interactions with us. Uh, and as we go forward into this next week, we always like to say at the end of our podcast, what do we say, Myrna? Apocrypha rules! Because we think it does. All right,
Yes.
guys. We'll
All
see you
right.
next week. Bye.
Bye.